So let's go over how to set up an IHSA sectional meet. We're here in Meet Manager. I have version 7.0, but it's the same process no matter what version you have. You go into File and then Open New, and you want to name your file IHSA Sectional, and then put in your location. OK. Now you've got your meet here. Put in all your information just like you would for a regular meet. Make sure you got a standard meet type with a meet style standard. It's a yards meet with FINA rules. It's a high school meet, and your ID format is other. And then you can press OK on that. The next thing you go into is set up for athlete relay preferences. Please check Enter School Year here and get rid of birth dates and ages. Go back into Setup. We don't have to worry about seating preferences. We'll go down into Entry Scoring Preferences, and under Scoring Awards, the maximum scores per team per event is 2 for individual and 1 for relay. And how many award labels for the senior awards to top 6, so it's 6 relays and 6 individuals. And then press OK on that. And then you come over to entry limits. You get a maximum entry limits per athlete including relays is 4. Maximum individual entries per athlete is 2. Maximum relay entries per athlete is 3. You don't count relay alternates, and we don't have any time trials. You can come up in here, and entries must have been performed on or after August 8th, 2018. So that's the beginning of the season. Maybe all entries have to be performed this season. And then we press OK. Come up here, go to the scoring setup, go to standard. Now mine's already set up under the NFHS rules for 12-place scoring. You should do the same. Was 16, 13, 12, 11, etc. And then double for relay points. Press OK. Once you've done the scoring setup, you can come down into, and this is where we get a little bit different. You go down to the language preferences, and I want you to go to keywords. And under keywords, where it says and over, I want you to put B, and this is going to give us our A and B classifications for the athletes with disabilities. And under, we're going to change to A, and that's going to give us our A classification. Now when we import the entries from the IHSA, the athletes with the disabilities are going to come in as male or boys entries. So I want you to come over to the boys keyword and change the boys keyword to girls AWD. And that means that every time that boys is normally going to be written, you'll see girls AWD instead. Once you've done that, say OK. And now we're ready to set up our events. So come over to the events. We'll click New Event. Now event 1, we're going to start with the Open Senior 200 Medley Relay, because this is the way it is done at the state meet, and so this is the way you should number it here. You come down, you put in your number of lanes that you like, depending on your pool. You notice that this event will be scored, and you can press OK. Breaststroke, OK, and the 400 freestyle relay. Now we're going to enter in the athletes with disability events. So in the athletes with disability events, event number 13 is going to be the athletes with disability, which is boys here. So we're going to select boys, individual, open senior, and the first event for athletes with disability is the 200 freestyle. And if we come down here, we should unclick the score event because we're not going to score this event. And if you want the results to reflect the A and B classifications, this is where we use the multi-age group. And you select 0 to 1 as the first age group, and then we select 2 to 109 as the second age group. And this is going to give us an A and B classification, just like we would do for a multi-age group event in a USA swimming meet. And we press OK for that. Event 14 will be the 50 freestyle. OK. Event 15 will be the 100 freestyle. We press OK. And the last event will be the 100 breaststroke, and we press OK. And now we should be finished, and we have all of our events set up the way we want. Once we have the event set up the way we want, we can come up here and go to Sessions, and we're going to add 2 sessions. The first session is going to be the diving session. The diving session starts at 9 a.m. and the max entries, including relays, is 1. Max individual entries is 1, and the max relay entries for the session is 0. Because we have to put an interval in here, I'm just going to put in 45 seconds. And the second session will be the swimming section, and that'll be on day 1, and the swimming starts at 1 o'clock p.m. I'm going to put in an interval of about 45 seconds. That tends to be a good guesstimate of how much time it will take. Max entry including relays is 4, max individual entries is 2, and the max relay entries is 3 for this session. Say OK. Cancel. I'm going to select my 9 a.m. diving session. I'm going to come down here to the diving, and I'm going to double click it, and you see that the diving session now has the diving event included in it. I'm going to come over here to the swimming session, and I'm going to move all. So that's going to move all of our events over into that next session. Now they're out of order because the 200 freestyle for girls with athletes with disability is event number 13, but it comes before the girls 200 freestyle. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it up before the girls 200 freestyle, and then I'm going to do the same with the other remaining athletes with disability events. Now if you want, you can put in breaks. So I normally put in about a 3-minute break for each awards session, and that will be after each event. It's about a 3-minute awards session. And this should give you a pretty accurate timeline if you decide to print out your timeline. Now you're done your sessions and you're done your setup of your events. We should go over and set up our standards. It's important that you have these standards in here in order to do the export at the end of the meet. So we're going to go and import the standards file that you've been sent. It should be called time standard. You open up that, and it's called IHSA. Say OK, and it imports all the IHSA time standards. And you'll notice it comes in as a time standards file. Now when you print a heat sheet, you can also include these standards. Now we're done setting up the events. The meet is set up and ready to go, and the next thing we will do is import the entries.